I'm gonna have a baby shower at like GameStop. I'm just gonna put a bunch of I'm just gonna put Pokemon cards on the registry. Here you go. I want this Shadowless Charizard. I want this Lugia first edition. Good stuff for the baby.
Oh, for the baby. That's the baby's retirement. Is a holofoil Gen 1 Charizard, which is like $300,000 now, right?
Dude, I found my nephew found my old Pokemon cards in my room at my parents' house. I thought they were lost forever. Like, I've been looking for these cards. Caleb, you know Pokemon at least?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I got you.
I've heard of it.
I was playing in 1999. And I played the base set, then Fossil and Jungle, and I was like still collecting them, but not really playing with them. And then 20 years later, they became worth something. And I said, where are my cards? I can't find them anywhere. They're not, I must have lost them somewhere. Or maybe an ex took them, or I threw them someone stole them from me, right? Mm-hmm. So I get a call from my mom saying, your nephew found these cards in your room, and he warned me not to touch them, that I should call you before I touch them. And I said, okay, put him on the phone, stand up, leave the room, and put him on the phone. Don't touch anything. Don't step on anything. Just put him on right now. And I talked to him, he's like, hey, what's the deal? What's going on? He's like, Uncle, I found your Pokemon cards. I found a huge box of Pokemon cards. I said, okay, don't steal any. I'll give you some, but don't steal any. So I go up there, and it's like, dude, it's first edition Lugias from Neo, like cards that I didn't even know I had. They're worth like, if they grade at like a 10, they're worth like $100,000 a piece. It's crazy. Or $20,000 a piece. It's crazy. I probably found like $100,000 worth of cards in there.
Are they all in good condition?
I gotta go get them graded. Oh, they're perfect, Taylor. They're perfect. I was looking through them. I waited till my girlfriend left to go shopping at Target, and I was like, okay, so she'll be there for like 4 hours, so I have plenty of time. It's right down the street, so I got about 4 hours of time by myself to go through these cards and see which ones are good. And I'm going set by set, right? Base set, okay, Charizard. Yeah, that's fine. And I get to the money ones, and it's like, I'm pulling them out like 3-4 at a time, the big money cards, and doing like, I'm like, my hands are trembling like a brain surgeon trying to put these cards that haven't been moved in 20 years from when I sleeved them in penny sleeves into slightly more reliable sleeves that I can send them in to the grading card company and get whatever, whatever the price some weirdo's going to pay me for them. It's probably one of the most stressful things I've ever had to do. These, because I don't know if you guys are collecting cards, but the plastic sleeves are.
Oh, I know.
They're like, like when you take like a saw, like when an old timey saw and go like, right? Like every one of the plastic sleeves, like you pinch it a little, you have to pinch it to put the card in, but it's like, it's totally unstable for the amount of money that people are using to store these things in. So I'm finally gearing up. I practiced putting all the kind of crummy but still really expensive cards in, and I'm gearing up for the Lugias at the end. And I'm like getting ready to put it in, and I hear the gravel out front of my house go from my girlfriend driving her car from getting home, and I'm like, oh no. Oh fuck, this is I want to call in like
assets.
Yeah, I gotta hide these assets, and I can't stop now because I'm in the zone now. I sleeved 8 or 10 cards. I'm in the zone. I can't stop at the most expensive cards, or I'm gonna totally reset my brain and then fuck up when I know how this is gonna work. So I'm like, fuck, I just gotta fucking deal with this. And she comes in. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Nothing." Like, I'm old enough to know not to tell her what I'm like, nothing. Yeah. What are you doing? Like, she's not. No follow-up questions. Don't worry about it. You don't need to explain what you're doing here. Yeah, exactly. That's not happening. She doesn't care what I'm actually doing. She's just saying that. She's saying that, so I'll ask her. She's like, "Do you want to see? I'm getting ready to put it in again. Here goes the card. Okay. Here it is." And then I wait. I pause. I'm like, I know what's coming next. I know in my bones what's coming next. And she goes, "You want to see what I got at Target?" I'm like, oh man, that would have come at the worst possible time. I would have shredded the card, right?
I just tore it in half.
Yeah. Because I would have been
right to smell these candles.
I would have been right in the red, right? What do you got at Target? No, I don't want to. So I'm like, of course, I would love to see what you got at Target. She's like, look at this. I got some like fake flowers and I got a candle and some shit. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Okay. She's like, I'm gonna go put this away in the bathroom. And I'm like, oh yes, okay. I got exactly 20 seconds, right? So I sit down and like a machine. I'm like, it's now or never. Like if she comes out of there, she's gonna ask you to clean up the table for dinner. And you're gonna stack it on the counter, and then you're gonna forget that you stacked it there, and then she's gonna put it away in the garage or something, and that's it. It's gonna be $100,000 down the drain. So I sit down and go, boom, sleeve, boom, look at, boom, swoop, boom, put it down, boom, like the cup stacking people, you know?
Damn.
And I put it in, and she comes out, and she's like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you breathing so hard?" And I'm like, "Honey, I just found that." I'm like, "Now sit down. Now I can tell you. I just found the baby's college money in the garage in a box that hasn't been moved for." And she's like, "Okay, that's what you were playing with Pokemon cards all day." When I'm like, "Yeah, that is what I was doing." But
a little bit,
yeah. I just
a little
got
bit.
fucking 2,000 Target trips for you.
Yeah,
from a random box of cards.
It's just like, well, what are you gonna do with the rest of these? I'm like, really? That's
fuck? Oh my!
I would be livid.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hang on to them. So those turn into another $100,000 in 15 years. What do you think we should do? Maybe throw them away? Because why not?
You know what?
Space these cards take up. Oh my God! What are we gonna put these? Oh.
Dude, that's sick. Just finding $100,000.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah, I'm like, I fought my mother to the death about throwing these cards away for 20 years. I'm not about to fold now.
Like, if my significant other told me some shit like that, I'd be like, well, guess I'm getting into Pokemon because that's our jam now. I didn't know there's just 6 figures laying around in these silly. Oh man, congratulations!
I couldn't believe it. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I've never experienced anything even approaching that. I found a $100 bill one time in a shirt pocket. Actually, I did. The closest thing to that, I found a paycheck one time that I hadn't deposited. It was, and I was like, I don't think this went in, and it was expired. So I had to contact him, get the money, but it was like $14,000 or something that I just found basically in a drawer. Now, to be fair, it was in a drawer full of paychecks that were there to be gone through for that reason anyway. But still, that was $14,000 that I just found in a fucking drawer one time. But not $100,000 worth of Pokemon cards. That's so cool, dude.
Well, we'll see.
Pokemon cards, it like makes it so much cooler to me.
Yeah.
I hope it's $200,000. Good luck to you, sir.
It's like the graders, they won't let you bring in the cards. Well, if you pay like $600 a card, you can bring them in. So you have to bring them to these by hand. So you have to bring them to these like card conventions. And I'm like, man, I gotta bring this stack to a card convention and bribe the guy who handles the box to bring them back in, or just trust that they won't fling them around for fun. But the hard part, as far as I'm concerned, is over. The sleeving is over. So I'm excited.
When do you get them back?
I don't know. Probably take like a month or two. Guys are more excited when I tell them that than they are about the baby. Like, oh, baby, congratulations.
Yeah.
I found $100,000 worth of Pokemon.
I can make a baby. I've made babies before and paid to get rid of them. All right. You, sir, have just come upon $100,000 worth of silly cards that I'm sure if they didn't have monetary value, you'd still want those fucking cards, right?
Yeah, I'm keeping the commons too. Fuck that.
If it was $10 worth of cards, you'd still be pretty jazzed to have found those cards. That's great.
Man, I wish I had. All mine got destroyed in a flood at my parents' house in their basement. And I had I was playing with Pokemon
Your dad
cards.
stole them?
Dude, if my dad stole my Charizards and stuff, first of all, there's no way he even has an inkling of an idea that the Pokemon cards are worth anything. But I remember I'll see pictures online of the Charizard and be like, every kid on the playground had that one. Like every kid had some of these cards, and now they're just lost to time.
Well, there was a website in 2010 that would give you 5 Bitcoin for doing a CAPTCHA. So,
Oh yeah.
Dude, I saw this old post that was for a Magic the Gathering tournament, and it was first place $500, second place $100, third place $50, fourth through eighth place 25 Bitcoins each. And it's I guarantee none of those people held on to it because it's easy to look back, and I was when did Bitcoin start? 2010? Is that
a little earlier?
Yeah.
2000, like around then?
2009? Well, I don't know.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like 08 or 09, maybe, when it was just some like micro, like fraction of a penny type thing getting started.
Well, I was only like 19 in 2010.
That's the time travel.
I wouldn't have had the prescience to keep it.
Well, what we should do is we should start looking back between the years that Bitcoin was like super, super low for fucking time travelers. Because like if there is any time travel, that's where they're going, right? They're going to when Bitcoin was a penny or a fraction of a penny, or name a point, because it's $100,000 now plus. Like if you go back there to 2010 and just be a billionaire, trillionaire, like what do you want to be?
That'd be sick. And then you hear about those stories of guys who are like, my girlfriend threw away $120 million of Bitcoin because it was on the bathroom counter or something. And it's like, how do you
hard drives.
How do you wake up the next day?
There's stories about guys with hard drives with hundreds of millions on them, and they don't know their passcode, and they've already done like 2 or 3 tries, and they got one more try at this thing, and then that's it. And they're just sitting there like going through like reversion therapy with a fucking hypnotist, trying to remember what that goddamn password to the $150 million that they got sitting in their attic is. You know, that's wild that thing got that valuable. And there are definitely hard drives just sitting around, and some old person's with enormous amounts of money on them. If they were giving the 5 away to anybody doing a captcha that year, like there must be tons of Bitcoins that are just sitting around places and people don't know what they've got.
Yeah, for sure. Not everyone remember, like when it was worth 0.002 cents, like you weren't thinking in your head, like, I have got to keep this in the most precious of places. Like you were just like, in the drawer. In the drawer it goes, maybe next to like some pen caps. And maybe
scissors.
you'll find it later. Yeah, or some scissors, like just a totally inconsequential thing that you could accidentally scoop up and throw away. That's worse than never getting any at all, is having some early and then blowing it. That would be like suicide fuel. Yeah. Like, I could have been like 100 millionaire and now I'm working at Enterprise.